Hello, Las Vegas. This is Rolando Larraz with Face the Tribune. Today, my co-host is John Estrada. Chris is on assignment. And as I always said, if you have nothing to worry about, if you are a public official, an elected official, and you're not corrupted, and you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have to worry about facing the Tribune. But if not, the Tribune is going to face you, my dear. So today, as I said, John Estrada is my co-host. John is the host of the Conservative Roundtable that is aired at 1 o'clock in this same station. And good morning, John. How are you this morning? How was...
Actually, it is afternoon time, so we're now in the afternoon.
It is?
Yeah, we are now in the afternoon.
It hasn't clicked to the 12:01.
Well, for me, it's afternoon time.
It is?
Yeah, for people on the East Coast, it's afternoon time, too.
Oh, yeah. That's why I always say hello, East Coast.
So, Rolando, Thank you. I appreciate being on Face the Tribune. This is a very good program, a very truthful program. And it's a program where you're going to listen and hear the information that matters. Too much, you have media outlets that want to make the news and not report it. So we're here to report the news, give you the straight talk, so you can make the best decision on Election Day.
I'm trying to gather all the opinions of the people in the office to make sure that we are able to put out the paper on Thursday instead of on Wednesday, so we can report on the debate. Then it is on Wednesday. You know, we're going to make sure then, because I got the feeling that Hillary Clinton pushed for the Wednesday afternoon debate, so Las Vegas Tribune cannot report on the debate.
Well,
and I'm gonna prove her that she cannot win with Las Vegas Tribune. The paper hopefully will come out on Thursday instead of on Wednesday.
Well, actually, I think it's a really good idea that you go ahead and have this week's paper come out on Thursday, because you really do want to have the headlines of the great debate and the final debate, which is going to be at UNLV here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is going to be make it time or break it time.
I got
for
the feeling
presidential candidates.
I got the feeling that Paul Ryan and Hillary Clinton conspire on making the debate on a Wednesday night instead than Tuesday night, so the Tribune cannot report it. But I am going to convince everybody and the staff, then it would be a good idea to come out on a Thursday.
Well, I can understand how you come up with that conclusion or deductive thinking, in that the Las Vegas Tribune is the only newspaper in Nevada that has endorsed Donald Trump, and I think they're a little mad at you, Rolando. So they're trying to mess you up. But it's okay, because you know what? You don't get mad over here. We just get even. So that means we're going to report the news that much better and that much faster.
And I got a point to make over here with all those 9 women that have come forward to talk bad about Donald Trump. Well, I will say 7, because 2 of them have been confronted by witnesses saying that it didn't happen. It did not happen. So the 7 women, let me explain something. Robert Ailes, the CEO of Fox News Network, is being sued by 3 of the anchors and hosts like Andrea Tontaros and Crenshaw Carlson, and I forgot the name of the other one. At the time that those women claimed that Donald Trump was indiscreet with them, Donald Trump could never been as powerful as Robert Ailes, because Robert Ailes was the CEO. He's no longer the CEO, but he was the CEO of Fox News Network. Those women used to work in that place, and they came forward right there and then when it happened, and they complained. They filed a complaint against him, and then they filed a suit against him.
Yeah.
So if they can do that, all those 7 women that claim that Donald Trump have done wrong to them, they gotta be lying.
Well, I think it's typically you would think that.
I would like to know how much they got paid.
Well, yeah, the big and the most important point is, why did they wait so late? 11 years or 45 years or whatever time it was. Typically when somebody's has or a victim, or somebody does something against them, the truth is known right off the bat. And so the only time we hear about this is because Hillary Rodham Clinton is running against Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's all it is. And I think those women have been very unfair with Donald Trump just for a few bucks, and I got the feeling that they got paid, because that's the only way that it can.
Let me say this, Rolando, okay? This is one of the Democrats' greatest schemes in the world. Time and time again, what they do is they bring up sexual distractions to either a Republican nominee or a presidential candidate or a candidate running for any kind of office. They use this sexual stuff because they know it offends conservatives. And by them offending conservatives, their plan is to keep conservatives from going to the polls and voting for that candidate. This time, people don't really care about all this bunch of baloney, and they're focusing on the issues of the day. They're focusing on the issues of safety, law and order, immigration, jobs, economics, everything. They're focusing on everything but this bunch of baloney that's taking place now by the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say to you, is I don't believe that it's necessarily the Democrat Party. Even though I am not a Democrat, I believe that it is Hillary Clinton and the Main Street media who are creating all these things. I don't think maybe could be the Democrat as well as the Republicans anti-Trump.
Well, it's their playbook, Rolando. You look at some of our U.S. Supreme Court nominees, conservative judges that have gone up. They use a sexual thing as the big problem, or other presidential candidates.
But we go back in history. Gary Hart,
and he dropped out. He dropped out, and so
Kennedy.
Yeah.
All 3 candidates have been famous for that. Even they were famous for sharing the same woman. Bill Clinton, and.
Well, I don't think it's going to work this time. I don't think I think it surprised everybody. Everybody got off their game plan, but I think at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter that issue is not going to matter at all, because since Bill Clinton survived the impeachment and removal from office, I think people are understanding that politicians typically have these extracurricular activities. The only problem is if you move that, the camera's
I'm going to move that.
Okay, I don't think you can get through without the camera getting mixed up. But anyway, okay, so basically bottom line is, Rolando, I don't think that the Democrats are going to get away with this little scenario that they're trying to put against the American voter. I think that what's going to happen in that they're going to show to the world that the issues of the day really do matter, and they really matter because we're not going to be fooled by putting a corrupt politician in office. Hillary Rodham Clinton is the most corrupt politician ever to run for president of the United States, and it is our duty to go out there and work very hard for her defeat. You know, maybe some people have said that Donald Trump is not the best candidate for the Republicans or conservatives, but he's the last man standing, and it's either him or Hillary Rodham Clinton. The choice is yours. My choice is I'm supporting Donald Trump because I believe he is the best person to defeat Hillary Clinton at this moment in time. Now, we had 17 candidates that were running. A lot of them would have been a lot better than Hillary Rodham Clinton, but they're no longer in the game. So we really need to stand together and make something work for this election. You know, in the state of Nevada, CNN just came out with a poll that shows that this race is within 2% for Donald Trump. 2% of the likely voters is the difference. Now, you have Gary Johnson, he's a libertarian, he's getting 7%. So if the Libertarian Party wants Donald Trump, wants Hillary Clinton to be the president, they will waste their vote and vote for Gary Johnson. My feeling is that if you're a libertarian, there is absolutely no way you can live with Hillary Rodham Clinton as your president. Don't waste your vote, Libertarian Party. Don't waste your vote. In Nevada, in the swing states, vote for Donald Trump, because that vote will count. That vote will matter. We cannot have 4 years of Hillary Clinton. The destruction and damage that could be done to our nation would be horrendous. It would be such a bad time. It should be taking us back to the Dark Ages. Russia's already threatening with nuclear war against her. So, it would be the end of times. This is by far the worst time that can happen.
Gary is a good guy. He is right now an acting governor, but he only got 7% of the 7 points. What good is gonna do, even if he get another 20, he's never gonna catch up with either one of the two. Voting for him or voting for that Dr. What's her name? Stein, Dr. Jill Stein, it will be wasting your vote. You, as an American, need to sacrifice yourself, even if you don't like Donald Trump that much. Believe me, most of the innuendos that are being brought up about him is just that, innuendos, it's lies. It is fabricated information. They have no base whatsoever. Okay, so what do you want? You want safety or you want moral? Moral, you're going to have it. Look at his family, for Christ's sake. Look at his family. What did anybody know about his family that is derogatory or is wrong or is immoral? Nothing. Why? Because he got a big mouth? We all have a big mouth at one time or another one in our life.
Well, those are private conversations he was having.
And I understand, I believe, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is very important. I believe that Billy Butch is related to the Butch family. He could have been put into that position by the Bush family. They cannot forgive the American people for not nominating the people, not nominating Ted Bush. They wanted to keep the same dynasty. They wanted to keep the same family tradition of president after president after president, and the people refused that.
Well, I think people are tired of the status quo, and I think they have a choice and they have a decision to make here. Do we want the same old establishment? Do we want the same status quo? Or do we want something new? Something that will be better? Something that will make America great again?
Yeah, and let me explain something then, maybe few of you people over there have not realized. If they really didn't want to have Donald Trump to be the next president, why they wait until he was nominated to come out with all this attack and all this lies about him? Why didn't they do that when he got 17 other people running for the nomination? If they would have taken Donald Trump out, if they would have come out with all those women that had been abused by Donald Trump and all the tape recorder of him talking nasty, all that stuff, if they would have done that during the primary when there was 17 candidates, maybe Ted Bush, it was Ted, what's his name?
Ted Cruz.
Bush. What is it?
Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, Governor Kasich, any of those people, then you people, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are so willing to keep in the politics, would have won the nomination if they would eliminate Donald Trump. Why did they wait until he is running against Hillary Clinton to become with all these lies and fabricated information that doesn't make any sense?
Well, it's just like anything. Any Republican that is supporting Hillary Rodham Clinton or is voting for her cannot be trusted and does not deserve to have the title Republican. They are not in the right place. Remember, if you go back historically, look at Lucifer, the devil. At one time he was one of the greatest angels, and he tried to take out God. And what happened to him? You can't trust even if angels could change. Look at what's happening with these traitors. The traitors of Republican Party that are now supporting Hillary Rodham Clinton. I think it's pretty bad.
Are they really supporting Hillary Clinton?
Well, I'm saying that there are some Republicans that are supporting her. I hear that Glenn Beck is now supporting Hillary Clinton.
Glenn Beck is a nobody.
Well, no, I understand that.
Now find me somebody with
Bill
status.
Bill Kristol. He's on ABC News saying
he's a Democrat.
Well, he
used to work for the Clintons.
No, I'm talking about Bill Kristol. I'm talking about the guy with the Weekly Standard.
Yeah. He used to work for the Clintons.
Okay, well, I know
He's a Democrat.
Well, he supposedly writes this conservative news.
He's the editor of the Weekly Standard. Yeah, I know him. But I thought he was a Democrat.
I always thought he was Republican, but there you go.
Really? Well, I can be wrong.
And so I really think that we need to focus on what really matters, and what really matters is that if you're Republican, don't listen to those Republicans that are out there actively raising money for Hillary or supporting her.
Well, I don't think at this time and point it should matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat. Everybody should be voting for Donald Trump.
Well, and be independent. Be independent, because that's what really matters. If you're, and by far, it's going to be the independents that will decide this election. If you're independent, vote for Donald Trump. Because you know what? The other way is you're going to end up back with a Bill Clinton, diversions and controversies and problems, because evidently he hasn't learned his lesson yet. Bill Clinton has not learned his lesson yet. And his wife will keep allowing that to go on. Do you really, in reality, want your daughters and your granddaughters to hear all the shenanigans going in the White House? I don't.
I mean, it will be a lot of
heck yeah.
It will be. It will be. You know, it's like Andrea Tantaros said about Fox News. She said it is almost like a Playboy mansion in a bigger scale. Oh. That's how she described Fox News network place of work.
I could imagine the things that would go on in the Lincoln bedroom in the White House with Bill Clinton there. It would be just shameful. Shameful. They were shameful.
And there was a lady that came out. I forgot the name now. A lady that said she had an affair with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Wow.
I forgot her name, but
from what I understand, all that stuff's going to come out in the next few weeks, and Americans are going to know the truth. And so the decision is, though, the most important thing is that if you want America to be better, if you want America to be greater, if you want America to be safer, you'll vote for Donald Trump. If you want the status quo, not giving a hoot about what terrorists kill Americans, or if you don't care about moral values in America, then I'm not in that camp. I'm not. I would hope you're not either.
No, I'm not. I believe that it is important that our families are raised in a most cleaning atmosphere. If nonetheless, I believe then they need to.
Well, if you're listening to this broadcast, this is Fox Face the Tribune. If you want to call in and ask a question, that number is 702-983-0711. We're broadcasting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. This is really an amazing time to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to have the final debate coming up on Wednesday. You're going to have Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. This may decide who becomes our president. So it's vital that we pay attention to what's going on. The media is out trying to divert you away from issues that matter. We are going to try to be the great balance and try to put out the information that does count, that does matter, make you think and let you think about things that should be considered on your vote.
And it is very important that everybody pay attention to those things, because believe me, it's like I said before a little bit earlier, those women in Fox News have the courage to come forward and complain about their boss, their CEO, risking their life and risking not only their life but also their job, the way they can earn a living, because they got fired. So you need, if they do that, why these 9 women or 7 women, the other 2 don't count anymore, because even a member of the family said that she lied. She was mad because she invited Donald Trump to go to her restaurant, and he said no, and she get mad. You know, if you're gonna get mad every time you invite somebody to your restaurant or to your office or to your place, and the person said no, at least he was honest. He said no. He didn't say, well, let me think and let me look at my schedule. No, he was straight through. He said no. You know, I invite Donald Trump, State Director Charles Munoz, to come over here to this radio show. He preferred to go to Kevin Wall radio show instead of come over here. I don't dislike him. To be honest with you, he never mean anything to me, because I didn't think he had the best interest of Donald Trump. Remember the first headquarters and a rinking little building in the second floor in the middle of nowhere? That was not Donald Trump doing. I don't believe Donald Trump would have opened a headquarters in Las Vegas, Nevada, in a place like they had it over there. There was not even a bottle of water. I go to radio shows, I go to Miguel Barrientos show, and they give me a bottle of water. I'm a poor little Cuban refugee, and when I have guests, I bring bottles of water. They didn't even have water in Donald Trump headquarters opening. You know, but what? I'm going to get mad? I'm going to hate Charles Munoz? No, I don't hate him, because to me, he's insignificant. You know, as simple as that. He doesn't mean anything to me. I don't think he is doing the best job for Donald Trump. He got lucky, he got a job because maybe his wife is in a better position with the Republican Party, and she hooked him up with that position. That's all it was. You know, I don't think people should be getting mad at Donald Trump because he didn't invite. Actually, to be honest with you, I think then El Gordo Taco should be boycott, because Hillary Clinton went over there to eat a taco. You know, I don't know how good the tacos are over there, but I'm sure I didn't see her eating the taco. She grabbed the taco and held it in her hand, but I don't see her eating the taco. El Gordo Taco should be boycott, because that's not, you know, she lied to the Mexican people. For 8 years she's been lying to the Mexican people, promising something that she is not in the position to give the Mexican people.
Well, you know, let's talk a little bit about the Mexican people, Rolando. Rolando, let's face it. The Mexican people have trusted the Democrats and the Democratic Party for many, many years. They've been very loyal. They've been very, very loyal. And look it, there is not one U.S. senator in the United States of America that's of a Democrat and a Mexican.
Yeah. And I tell you, I have a lot of good friends, Mexican people, like Tony Badilla, the late Eddie Escobedo, John Estrada, Al Salinas. I can go on and on and on, and I got a lot of decent, hardworking Mexican people that I can say they are In the case of the late Eddie Escobedo, he was my friend. He proved to be my friend many, many times. Okay? Before the El Mundo newspaper and during the El Mundo newspaper. Okay? He used to write for me in the Spanish newspaper when I have the Spanish newspaper, and he always was a straight shooter, and he was always good to me. He was my friend. Same way with John Estrada, his father, also the late, he had the same name you do.
Tony.
Tony.
Actually, in a way, you could say we have the sort of same name. My middle name's Anthony.
Oh.
So, Anthony and Tony are really...
And he was Anthony John?
No, actually, he was Tony Diaz Estrada. But Anthony is sort of like... There's a story why I'm John. And basically what happened was that my mother lost her brother when he was young. He got killed in an accident. And I was sort of like named...
after your uncle.
Sort of like after my uncle. My first name anyway. But, of course, the second name...
after your brother.
No, that was my mom's brother.
Your mom's brother, your uncle,
my uncle, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think that you're right. There are a lot of great Mexican people, veterans that have given so much for America. And they have worked very hard. They own their businesses. They've done everything that's required of them, but yet they don't get the respect by the Democratic Party.
No, they don't. They don't, because they take it for granted. The same thing happened with the black vote. They take it for granted, and like to me, in my opinion, if you ask me, they disrespect those people by taking it for granted and lying to them. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then after the election, it's like Donald Trump said, after the election, you don't see them anymore until 4 years later when they have to run again.
Well, look at all the WikiLeaks information. All they consider the Mexican Latinos as needy, and anytime the Democratic powers to be called, they come running to help them. And you're right, but they help them every time and time again. Those votes are very loyal, and then what happens? The election is over, and they go back, and the party machine doesn't do nothing for
And that happened locally too, I've been writing about that for years. These people, after you elected them, you cannot communicate with them anymore. You cannot. And I don't think it is fair to do that.
I think that in the Latino family, you got to look at a couple of major issues. One is the family. The family matters a lot. And if your family is not doing good today, if you don't have a job, if you can't get the type of education your kids need, if you're suffering and sacrificing, there's no reason to have the status quo. We need to do much better than that. So, rethink it. Loyalty has to come back. It's called reciprocation. If you're loyal to somebody, it's got to come back to you. They got to help you out, because I guarantee you, in their friendships, that's all about what Hillary Clinton is about. It's called friends. She helps her real close friends, and that's it. It's a buyout. It's a sellout, and it's corrupt.
Yeah. Same thing with Harry Reid, and same thing with almost every other any other Democrat then is in a position then can help a lot of people.
Well, getting to Harry Reid, this is another one. This is an opportunity for you to do the right thing. You don't need a puppet in there. You don't need a Harry Reid puppet in office. My vote, my support goes for Dr. Joe Heck, because that's going to help save the U.S. Senate to be in Republican control again. But let me say this about Republicans. If they do, in fact, win the presidency, the U.S. Senate, and the House of Representatives, and they don't take care of the people's job and do what's good for America and make America great like they promised, you know what? All bets are off. All bets are off.
So
I would say that, you know, if you're listening to our broadcast here today, you have a question, 702-983-0711. This is Face the Tribune. This is a very, very good, a very important broadcast that we're talking about the truth, the way it really is, not the way the media makes things to be. They're coming up with false polls. They're coming up with false diversions, and you know, it's sort of like that, the wag the dog, wag the tail, whatever they do.
Let me tell you, all the polls that they claim they have made, how come I don't even have one call? It doesn't make any sense to me. And do you have any calls from surveys?
I've been polled before. I have been. In this election cycle, early on, I did get a call by one poll. But what they do is they call the people that they expect the positive answers from. In other words, if you're fortunate enough to get called by a polling company, it's going to be because they want your answers. They already know who you are, and they know how you're going to vote, and know who you support. So that's why pollings don't even have standards that you can trust. You know, it depends on who that poller is. If he's got a certain list of names to call, it's not random. They're just not randomly calling people.
No.
They call people that are selected, just like they select and appoint our candidates.
Registered voters.
Yeah, and so it's all a fraud. Polling is a fraud, and then the media, what they do is they turn around and use the polls as a vehicle to put out their propaganda.
Oh, I see now. I get it. I get it.
And so what they want to do is they want to turn this into a horse race, but it's not a horse race, folks. This is the most important position in the world. If we don't get this right, we all suffer. We've been suffering for 8 years now. We cannot afford 4 more years of another wasted American good time. You know, this has been a nightmare for many, many Americans.
Don't listen to the Bush family. Don't listen to any of those people that have an ulterior motive. You know, I guarantee you that if Hillary Clinton wins this election, and 4 years from now, Jeb Bush is going to be running for the presidency again. You know, because that's the way the Bush family wanted. They wanted to have Jeb to be the president. Otherwise, he would be joked at. He would be the laughing stock of the family at dinner time and at Christmas parties and everything. Oh, you're the only one that didn't win the election. You know, the elder Bush don't want that to happen to Jeb.
Well, let me just add on to your statement regarding the Bushes. I cannot and I will not support Jeb Bush for president now or ever. And the reason is, you know, they took a poll, not a poll, but a statement from each presidential candidate, and they asked them a very important question. If one of the other candidates becomes the nominee, will you support them? Every single Republican candidate running for president in this election cycle said they would. And it's unfortunate that you have traitors and people that have not followed their word. If you cannot trust their word, yeah, campaigns are rough, campaigns are tough, campaigns are ugly, they're not good, but at the end of the day, he gave his word. You know, Ted Cruz was very, very hurt at some of the statements that were made, you know, during the campaign. But you know what? One thing I say about Ted Cruz, he got it together and realized, hey, he won't have no more chance in political Republican national circles if he did not support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And the Bushes don't have any chance at all.
They both, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, were not supporting Trump after Donald Trump was nominated, but after a while they realized that they would be doing wrong to the country and wrong to themselves and their political career. Remember, Marco Rubio said he wasn't even run for re-election in the Senate. He was completely disappointed with the political life.
But they needed him. They
needed him, and he came down to reality. And now, do you think John Kasich is going to win in Ohio again? I don't think so.
I guarantee you, it's going to be. He will never have an opportunity on national Republican politics again.
No, I don't think so.
You know,
because look what he did. He had the audacity, the convention was in his own state, and he didn't even have the decency and the courtesy to attend the first day, only one day of the convention. You know, I think it was very, very stupid of his part to be so baby, so childish, to be, I didn't win. The people didn't think you was, and I tell you, he was a good candidate for president.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I didn't like any of his issues. I was for Ted Cruz. And then once I saw that Ted Cruz couldn't do it anymore, couldn't be the nominee,
no,
I voted for Donald Trump in the California primary. That's where I voted from.
I didn't like Ted Cruz because from the beginning of the campaign, him and his father were bragging about their relationship with Fidel Castro. His father was a trust friend of Fidel Castro, and to me, anybody that could be, Fidel Castro never lied to anybody. He didn't lie to nobody in Cuba. Everybody know what he was. He was a con man, a liar, and a hustler, and a coward.
And a killer.
Well, at that time, I don't know if he was a killer or not, but he was a liar, a hustler. You know, he always begging for money and all that stuff.
Sure.
Okay, I remember that far back,
yeah.
Believe me. And to me, I wrote about that. I said, Ted Cruz is not running for Cuba. He's not running. What is he going to do? He's going to make peace. Well, Obama did it. Make peace with the Castro regime.
Yeah, I understand now that you can even buy cigars and rum from Cuba.
Yeah, of course. They're going to make money with this deal, and they were going to give nothing back to the United States. You know, the only way the people in the United States...
Do you think that now that the doors have opened with Cuba, is there any chance at all that this kind of connection with America could change their philosophy?
No, why?
So they'll continue on being as bad as they are?
He said that. We are not going to give anything back to the United States. Raul Castro said that. He said, they can offer us everything they want. We are going to keep the communist regime. We're going to keep the abuse. We're going to keep the lack of freedom. We're going to keep everything as it was up to now for the last 56 years.
What's the mindset of the Cuban people? Are they for the communist state, or do you think they would like to have change?
I don't know. I haven't been there in almost 60 years, so I don't know how the people think. But whoever changed their mind now, it's too late to change their mind. In my opinion, it's like those 5,000 Cubans that were stuck in Costa Rica, that they wanted to come over here, and I think it was Honduras or Mexico, I don't know who didn't want them to go through there to come to the United States. Those people, why are they coming here now? Why are they coming over here now? No, I don't believe anybody that changed their mind now after 55 years, they mean it.
So their minds are basically changed now.
Yeah, they either come here as spies, or they come here because they want to be in the winning side if they ever change the political regime over there. That's the way I feel. Marco Rubio, remember when they said people in Cuba didn't want Marco Rubio? Well, I defended him. I said, he's not running for president of Cuba.
Yeah.
He can care less what the Cuban people say about him.
Well, the good news about Marco Rubio is he looks like he's going to hold on to that U.S. Senate seat in Florida.
Yeah.
That was such an important seat. They did not want to turn that over to the Democrats because Florida is such a swing state. So that, I think, will help out the U.S. Senate position, and also that could help Donald Trump.
I would be very proud if any one of those, Cruz or Rubio, would have won the nomination or the presidency, because that would have been, wow, my own country, even if they are not Cubans, they are Cuban descent.
Well, if for any reason it doesn't work out 4 years from now, you would consider one of the Cuban, like Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz?
No, Marco Rubio, no. Marco Rubio called the FBI on me and accused me of something that I didn't do, and I would never vote. I would never vote for a snitch.
Okay, and so Ted Cruz, there's a possibility?
Probably. If his father keep his mouth shut, I probably would do something like that. I tell you the truth, the one I would like to be becoming president, it would be Chris Christie. I don't care how much problem he got in New Jersey, he would be a good president.
Well,
he's a strong president.
Well, right now, I don't think I'm not even going to consider 4 years from now yet. I am focusing on this election.
Well, that's not fair. You put me on the 4 year. You put me on the 4 year.
It was my question, though.
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm focusing.
I probably will not change my mind for a year from now.
Yeah.
Or 3.5 years from now.
Well, hopefully we're supporting Donald Trump for another 4 years. I think that'd be
definitely,
pretty cool.
Definitely.
So I think that's a possibility. So, I think out of all the candidates right now, I am happy the way it is, and I'm pushing hard with your broadcast network and our connections. We're going to keep letting the people know what the heck's going on here and why it's so important.
It is very important. It is very, very important that the people realize that Donald Trump is the only one that can save this country, can save us from a disaster. It is very important that people realize that, because I tell you, it will be a complete.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know what the word I wanted to use, but can you imagine this country with an open border, all these people coming from all different countries? And I tell you, I am from another country. I talk with an accent, but I am from another country, and I came here legally with my passport, my visa, and a Pan American airline. Maybe many of you people don't know what Pan American airline.
Pan Am. I remember Pan Am.
Yeah. But believe me, it is a different situation. Open the borders and let everybody come in. It's like opening the door in my house and let everybody go there and sleep and eat my food and grab my clothes. And it's not the right thing to do. It's not feasible to do something like that.
Well, I think the most important thing, Rolando, you are American. And you went through the process. There's no doubt in my mind that you care about America, and that's why you do what you do.
And they criticize Donald Trump because he wants to put I don't know if he's talking about the Syrians or who else. He wanted to put him on hold. Let me tell you, way back, the Italians and the Jewish used to come here and they go to Ellis Island and stay there until they check those people out. Okay? Then the Cuban people start coming in, and what happened? They put them in the Opalaca Air Base, and they double-check those people for diseases, for illness, for communist diet. They want to make sure that they know who are they going to open the doors of this country.
You mean they were careful in their vetting process?
Right.
And they want to make sure that America would be safe? Is that such an odd way to think?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense to me. If they did it with the Italian, they did it with the Jewish, and they do it with the Cubans, they do it with everybody else. What is the problem with that? So make sure that the people that come here, they are coming here with the idea to stay here and to respect the laws and respect the rules of this country. That's all it is.
Yes. I think it's
don't go anywhere.
I think it's common sense type of procedures. It's keeping America safe. It's keeping America safe, and that's something we must do.
Okay.
And I believe the next president needs to focus on keeping America safe, because I think Obama's done a very poor job in keeping America safe. I think he's just compounded the ability or the opportunity for us to have a terrorist attack, and Hillary wants another 4 years of Obama. So we don't want that to take place.
So I think we got to the end of this show. We need to find a producer that is not striking because she don't get paid or what. We need to see the producer and the producer booth. We need to have the producer.
Anyway, I do thank you for the opportunity to have a conversation with you today. My name is John Estrada, and please stay tuned. At 1 o'clock, we'll start Conservative Roundtable, and I think it'll be a great opportunity to talk more about the political agenda.
Don't forget to vote for Ed Yulin and the general election for Assembly 16. My name is Rolando Larraz. I stand behind every word I said in this show, and I thank you all for listening. God bless you. God bless America. God bless our troops.